King and Queen of Sylvan Aethelmearc. Their Majesties invite into their presence Her Grace, Duchess Dorinda Courtenay.
Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, honored populace and assembled fencers of the Sylvan Kingdom, comes now before you Her Grace, Duchess Dorinda Courtenay, Mistress of the Laurel, Mistress of the Pelican, 36th member of the Order of the White Scarf, and Principal Vigilant of Aethelmearc's Order of Defense. As a young queen, Dorinda was presented with a rapier by the fencers of the kingdom, and as tradition, a white scarf to wear as queen. She was thereby inspired that these gifts would not be mere possessions, but that she would attain mastery over each. She became authorized and proficient with every authorization from single rapier to army of rapiers. And she put aside her royal white scarf for one of cadet blue, until she again was requested to wear white by right of skill. She comes to you now from the White Scarves, just as this order springs from their hard work and labor, ready to take the first guiding steps as principal of the kingdom's newest peerage. In this, she is supported by her fencing lineage, Doria Caroline and Don Iago, and her graduated cadet Don Mark, as well as the whole Order of the White Scarf. Your Majesties, your Vigilant is ready and awaits your command.
Their Majesties would have the Vigilance come forward and present herself.
Salute. Grace, Her Majesty has been able to do many wonderful things over the years together. And I must say, without doubt, this is a truly magical moment. This is what it's all about. Here, across the SCA, you are making history. You were the first to offer the writ. In our minds, there is no one more deserving than you to join us here this day. Is it your wish to accept this writ and become the principal of our order?
It is your Majesty.
Please, if there are worthies who speak.
Is there a royal peer who would speak on Her Grace's behalf?
There is. I am Duchess Leonid Deirdre Kavanaugh, and it was here, in Herrentyre, at my very first SCA meeting that I met Dorinda, and she intimidated me. Back then, she was just Dorinda, not Her Grace, not Her Excellency, not even Lady Dorinda, but titles didn't matter. It was more so that she exuded nobility. In fact, a few of us Herons took to calling her the Velvet Hammer. And perhaps it was destiny that she became a rose, for those qualities were very much akin to a rose. Many years have passed since those days, but Dorinda's influence has been monumental. Certainly she has taught me many lessons, chief among them, service, selflessness, doing the right thing, no matter whether or not anyone is watching, and always taking the high road, no matter how hard it is. Because Dorinda is a champion. She is the champion of the ideals of our society. And, like the rose or the velvet hammer, those words and actions are sometimes subtle and sweet, but can be fierce and forceful if necessary. Another lesson that she's taught me is to never have a long, wordy speech. So, I have exceeded my limit, and I will simply say, thank you. Thank you for all that you have done for me, for this kingdom, and for the society. And thank you for finding me worthy enough to speak at your bank today. I love you.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican who will speak on behalf of Her Grace?
There he is. I am Baron Yago Benitez, and I was Dorinda's Don. I think I wrote this speech like 100 times, and every time it got harder to do. Explaining Her Grace's service is like explaining what's good about sunshine. It's pointless. Everyone in the room knows what she does. But I want to speak to what she does for the fencing community. She has always been there. As queen, she was inspiration. She got her white scarf for being queen, and she gave them back, and she wanted to earn it, and that inspired me. She inspired me because she did. She wanted to earn her white scarf by her prowess, and she has. I regret anyone, friend or foe, who takes her lightly on the field. She is a killer. She really is. I would love to be able to say that you are my peer, but I have a scroll that says I'm a peer, and you should know because you made it. But in my eyes, I have to work every day to earn that scroll. In my eyes, you're peerless. You will always be my hero.
Is there a member of the Order of the Laurel who would speak on behalf of Her Grace?
There is. An honor falls to me today.
Those of you who know me, I'm not as eloquent as those who've spoken before me, but my words are heartfelt. And I would speak to you today about dedication. Dorinda is a member of the Order of the Laurel, and if you know or you don't know, she was offered that option twice. She turned it down once. And so she had to work harder and harder, and that dedication that we see in those arts to get to that level is mirrored so well in this endeavor. Again, she gave back the white scarf that she had because she wanted to earn it. And I know that she has traveled many, many miles to fence with any and every who would have her there. And as Yago said, fearless is a great word, and I'm inspired by you continually. And I think this is an awesome thing, and thank you very much.
Is there a member of the Order of Chivalry who would speak on behalf of Her Grace?
Your Majesties, that honor falls to me, Sir Cadan. Normally in this situation, I would advise you and speak to her virtues and advise you that she is my peer. Speaking to her virtues, I will say this. Back in history, during the first reign of Cygnus and Dorinda, I was a squire on the path trying to make a name for myself. She asked me to be captain of her guard. During that time, I got to know her very well when we became friends. But more so, I got to see who Dorinda is and what she does. That was a valuable lesson for a young squire. I can say that I became a knight following the example set by her. Is she my peer? I've thought a lot about that. I am a knight. Dorinda is a pelican, a laurel, a lady of the rose, a jewel of Aethelmearc, and soon to be the first member of the Order of the Master of Defense. Now, Your Majesties, I am but a humble barbarian, and there was a lot of math in there. But I do have people for that, and they tell me that I am not even close. Perhaps one day, if I work very hard, I would be honored to have people consider me equal to her.
Being so moved by these, the words of the peers of your realm, is it still your wish to install her grace as the principal member of the Order of Defense of the Kingdom of Aethelmearc?
It is not just our wish. It is our responsibility to serve this kingdom. And there is no finer way to serve our kingdom than to make this so.
Then let it be done. Their Majesties invite into their court those ladies of the rose here present.
There's always been a strong relationship between the fencers of this kingdom and the roses. Love even. And in celebration of this auspicious day, the roses had a piece of regalia crafted for the new order.
Hold on, technical difficulties.
Populace of the Kingdom of Aethelmearc, look and rejoice, for you witness the creation of the ancestral collar of the Order of Defense of the Kingdom of Aethelmearc. Is there a personal collar and medallion that her grace might wear once this has been passed to her successor?
There is. Your Majesties, the Order of the White Scarf has commissioned and created these personal medallions to be given and kept. And as the ancestral collar will be passed on to the next, these may be presented and kept in perpetuity.
Is there a cape?
There is.
Your Majesties, it seems untoward that a master of defense of your kingdom should not be properly armed. Shall we remedy this?
Make it so.
Their Majesties call before them, on behalf of the Order of the White Scarf of Aethelmearc, Don Poe Silvertop.
Your Majesties, Your Grace, the kingdom is rich in tradition, and no master of defense has ever stood before their Majesties without the proper utensil. The ancestral pie server of the Order of Defense, which has been passed from MOD. Okay, that doesn't work. Every single MOD of the kingdom has now wielded the ancestral pie server of Aethelmearc.
Traditionally, we swear fealty on this sort of stage. Considering the circumstances, something much more appropriate has been found. Could you please call forth the knights?
Their Majesties would have before them Don Ananias Fenn.
This is the Principality rapier. It seems infitting with our kingdom's history that this be the object that you swear fealty upon. Will you do us and our kingdom that honor?
That is your wish, Your Majesty. Your Majesty's my office base, how I want to school with that.
Your Majesties, I, Dorinda Courtenay, do swear to be true to my kingdom, to be a loyal subject to my crown, and to serve my queen with life and property. I pledge to work with other masters to further the rapier community, and to refrain from teaching suspect peoples, including murderers, thieves, drunkards, and quarrelers. I promise that in any game, prize, or play at weapons to give true judgment without favor or hatred, and to be merciful when I have the upper hand, except in self-defense or in service to the crown. I pledge to give aid, strength, and help to all masters, provosts, and scholars, and to consult all masters to advance others, so that this order, the fencing community, and the kingdom may prosper. Thus I do swear.
Your Grace, I, Timothy,
And I, Gabrielle,
gladly hear these words and support you in all your endeavors. But those are just words. We know in your heart, in your soul, you are Aethelmearc. This kingdom, you are the foundation and the bedrock that makes this kingdom work. We need not your words. We know where your heart lies, and we thank you. Please read.
On this day, history is to be made within our realm and throughout the known world. In celebration of this momentous occasion, we have picked a rose from our garden to blossom and a jewel from our crown to shine. We would recognize a driving force behind our rapier army, a leader who guides and inspires all in the art and prowess of rapier both on and off the field, whose martial skill and tenacity move us to ensure premier membership in a historic new order. Thus do we, Timothy and Gabrielle, Rex and Regina Aethelmearc, hereby establish the order of defense within the kingdom of Aethelmearc, and joyfully create her Grace Dorinda Courtenay, the principal companion of that order within our lands. Duchess Dorinda, as a mistress of defense, possesses all rights to bear the badge of the order, being blazoned tinctureless, 3 rapiers in pall inverted tips crossed, as well as a white livery collar, which may display the aforesaid badge or not as pleases her as regalia, so that all may know of her station and achievement. Done by our hand and these words before all here assembled on this first day of May, Anno Societatis 50, at the celebration of the art of rapier in our Shire of Herentier. The scroll is illuminated by Mistress Isabeau Tierslin, calligraphed by Her Grace Duchess Leonid Deirdre Kavanaugh, wordsmithing by Her Ladyship Ursula of Rouen, Duchess Leonid, and Commissioner McKill. Their Majesties would invite before them Don Diego.
There has been a project undertaken to record the history of the peerages of our kingdom. Don Diego will show you.
Majesty, I took on this project actually not doing the work myself, but making sure the work gets done. And like many projects, as we're all aware of, they grow. And this is merely the first of them. What we have is a handmade book with the first member of the Order of Defense and a lot of blank pages. This book is obviously not complete, but until you pass it on to the next, it's yours. And as we're so used to, the first one is done. The second one, well, that'll be their first homework assignment.
Their Majesties would invite into their court those members of the Order of the White Scarf and those ladies of the Rose here present.
We would not have her stand here alone at this moment. Please greet your friend.
For her Grace, Duchess Dorinda Courtenay, Principal Mistress of Defense of the Kingdom of Aethelmearc. Viva! Viva! Viva!
Starshine and shadow, the color of your glowing hair. Then Sir Dorinda, the white scarf you bear proudly, premier defender, and here 5 times over you stand. Dancing with steel you strike, anywhere you aim. Once more our jewel shines brightly on the Sylvan land. Once more you demonstrate prowess and power, proven in battle the melee's dark flower, forging new paths to make Aethelmearc enemies cower.
Duchess Dorinda.
Vivas! Vivas! Vivas!
There being no further business, this court of their Majesties is hereby closed.